How's everybody doing today? Back again with another video for you guys. And today we're going to do my full review of the Blueido B2. Now, before I get into the headphones and all that good stuff, just want to talk about things that came in the box. That's pretty much the only thing that I left in the box. Everything else I took out. Now, it came with this nice little carrying pouch, which is pretty cool because it folds up and you can put it in there. And it came with the micro USB charging cable to charge it. And I must say it all worked quite well, and it was presented quite nicely. But I did destroy the outer box because I couldn't figure out how to get it out of the sleeve. So I want to apologize for that. But overall, these work and look very good. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Now, moving on, let's get into these headphones. So the first thing I want to talk about is the build quality and design. So overall, they're built quite well, and you see it folds up to an almost compact size, so it should be able to slip in a backpack or the carrying pouch or pretty much anything quite easily. And then they just unfold like so, and then you're ready to use them. And it's labeled because I did get confused. So this is the right, that's the left. And overall, I must say the overall build quality is quite good. The volume buttons are quite tactile. You get a decent amount of travel. They're very clicky. Didn't have any problems plugging it in and out of the USB port. You know, it was nice and firm, but not too firm. So when I plugged it in, I didn't feel like I was going to break it. The multi-purpose button is nice and clicky. And the power button gives you a nice satisfying click to it when you turn it on and off. So that was that. So overall build quality was quite good. And I must say, in terms of comfort, I was able to wear these for a really long time without it irritating my ears. So in terms of comfort, these were quite comfortable. And yeah, so overall build quality and design, everything is quite solid and it's very good. Now, moving on, let's talk about some core features in this guy. So number one being that it's Bluetooth and it's completely wireless, so you don't have to fuss with any cables aside from the charging cable, which is quite small. Number two is you have a built-in microphone, so you can make and receive phone calls, and you can still do your voice commands and things like that. And yeah, that's oh, and number three, it has a auto power on and pair feature. So pretty much once you do it once, you pretty much don't have to do it again. As long as Bluetooth is on and it's on, it's going to automatically pair. So that's pretty sweet. Now, that's pretty much it for the core features. So let's move on to sound quality and volume. Now, I must say, let me turn this off. I must say, the overall sound quality in this guy was quite nice. Quite nice. It was a little bit bassier than my previously owned headphones, the Hesh 2s. And I must say, I was very happy because the sound was still very balanced and clear. Didn't have any issues with the sound. And the volume, even at high volumes, didn't get too distorted. Now, it got distorted a little bit, but nothing to the point where I wanted to turn it down. And the bass was quite good, or decent. So, sound on this was pretty good. It was pretty good. Now, let's talk about the mic quality. Now, when it came to making phone calls, I must say it was quite nice. Didn't have any trouble hearing the people on the other end. They didn't have any trouble hearing me. So call quality was quite nice in this guy, and I must say I was very happy with it. Now let's move on. Now I like to cover the steps that go into pairing this guy. Now I have two devices here. As you see, it pretty much works the same on either device. It just looks a little differently. You power on the device, you power on Bluetooth, you put it into pairing mode. It should come up, you click it. Oh, well, first make sure this is powering on. So you flip it on like so. And, okay. Flip it on like that. The light comes on. Then it's going to do that. Then a little bit, because it's still trying to connect to another device that I was on. And a little bit should start flashing. Then you know it's ready to pair. And then you just get on your other device here. And you turn on the Bluetooth. Let me get to it. Turn that Bluetooth on. And there you can see it right there. So you just tap. And it's going to connect. Now, it might have a little bit of an issue because it's actually looking for another phone that it was connected to. But pretty much, you shouldn't have any issues with it. Now, I've actually had it connected to multiple devices. So there's a little bit of a delay sometimes. And yeah. And now, like I've said, there we go. And it's connected. And there you see. And that's pretty much it. Same thing for the Windows device. Now, as you guys just saw, sometimes you'll have an issue with pairing. It's pretty common with Bluetooth devices. You just toggle this on and off, and you toggle that on and off, and you should have no problems. It's pretty much the same for the Windows device. It just looks a little differently. So you go into settings, you find Bluetooth, you turn it on, and it should come up, and you click pair. It's going to take a few seconds to pair, and you're good. That's pretty much it. Now, I can only show how to do this on Windows and Android, because those are pretty much the only two types of phone I have right now. Still working on purchasing an Apple device, but they're still quite expensive. So that's why you only see me walk through the steps on Android and Windows. Now, back to the overall headphones themselves. So that was the steps to pair, and it's pretty easy. No issues there. Now let me just turn them off. Alright. So, moving on now. Let's talk about the Bluetooth range and strength. Now overall, I would say that the range on this guy was pretty good. I don't think they mentioned it on the box or in the user manual. I may be wrong. I may have to double check that. But I would say it's probably like 10 meters or 33 feet, which is pretty common for most of these Bluetooth headphones. And didn't have any issues in terms of range here. So, that was pretty nice. Now, strength-wise, I did run into a couple problems with the strength where it would get a little crackly, but I'm not sure what that was. Maybe I was in a place with interference, but it did get a little crackly, more than I would like it to on a couple of occasions. So that was that. Other than that, I would say it ran quite nicely, and I actually, other than my assortment of phones here, a friend of mine has a Bluetooth Chromebook, and I've actually paired it up to the Chromebook, no problem. So I was able to enjoy my shows on the Chromebook without issues, because usually what we do is we hooked it up to my big screen TV and we watch movies that way, and we just hang out and chill. So didn't have any issues hooking it up to a Chromebook or anything else like that, or any of the phones that I had. So the strength and the range is pretty good on this guy. Now, moving on, let's talk about the durability in this guy. Now, durability wise, I would say these headphones held up quite well. Now, it did fall off my desk a few times, but I haven't had any issues with it, and as you can see visually, there's no damage. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind though that these are glossy, so it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. So there's that. I don't know if I brought that up in the build quality and design department, but I wanted to mention it here. But durability wise, didn't have any issues with these headphones. So maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just lucky. Your usage may vary. Now, moving on, let's talk about charge times and overall battery life. Now, I've been using these for about a week and a half now, and y'all know me, when I'm done covering all the steps to reviewing something, I shoot the review. So this is a little bit early, but that's okay. But overall charge time, I would have to tell you, now I'm still on my first charge. Out of the box, the manufacturer Blueido quoted that these guys can get you 33 hours of continuous use or 1,300 hours of standby time. So I've been using it for a week and a half, and I've been I've been going ham. I've been using it for about 3 hours a day, and taking it to the gym, chilling out at the house, and I must say I have still not had to charge these guys at all. So overall, battery life, I would say, is pretty good on these guys. Now, when you plug it in, though, I would like to mention, because it should be pretty similar, when you plug it in, and I believe the charge port is on the other cup, my bad. When you plug it in, you should get a nice little LED indicating that it's charging, and it should either be a red flashing light, and then when it's done it'll be blue, or it'll be a solid color, and when it's done it'll be off. That's pretty much how most of these Bluetooth headphones work. Now, I can't tell you exactly because I'm still on my first charge, but I just thought I would bring that up. They also cover that in the manual, and the manual, I must say, was pretty good. It was okay. So that's that, and that's the battery life. And I must say, I'm quite pleased with the battery life. I just think it's kind of weird that I haven't had to charge these at all, when in terms of my other stuff, my lot fancies are off camera, and those give me about 6 to 8 hours of usage time. So I do have to charge those every few days, every about 3 or 4 days, because I only use my headphones about 3 hours a day. And then my H2s, still on my first charge of that as well. And so, actually no, I'm on my, I've actually charged it a few times prior to the, after the review. So I'm not sure what charge I'm on with that, but those have a 15-hour runtime, and those can last me pretty much a while. The way I like to look at it is I take my actual usage and I stretch that over several days. So if you're the type of person that only uses your headphones like an hour a day, you're gonna get, if you pick up one of these guys, you're gonna get quite a long usage times. Same thing for about 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know anybody that can listen to their headphones for about 4 to 6 hours on max. I've tried it. It gets quite comfortable when you get to. It gets quite uncomfortable when you get to about the 3 hours and 45-minute mark. Yes, I know that's very precise. I've actually timed it. So my usage time is about 3 hours. So I stretched that using the manufacturer's rated usage time. I should still be able to get probably another week out of it. I'm not sure. Don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. But overall battery life is pretty good on this guy. Now, let me just get into some positives and negatives. Then we'll talk about the price and we'll wrap it up. So, some positives. Number one is the overall semi-portable foldable design and the accessories that it come with. The carrying pouch adds just that little bit extra protection when you need to take these somewhere. And like I said, these are very portable because they're foldable, so you can drop these in like a backpack. You can get one of those hard shell cases and stuff like that. Number two, the built-in microphone for taking phone calls. That is pretty awesome. So all you have to do is pair it up to a Bluetooth enabled device, laptop, cell phone, tablet, Chromebook. It's up to you. Anything that takes Bluetooth, this guy should be able to pair up to. Number three, the overall comfort level of the headphones is quite good, and they are very durable, and I had no issues wearing these for extended periods of time. Number three, the overall battery life on this guy, am I on number three? The overall battery life on this guy is excellent. Excellent. Like I said, I'm still on my first charge, and I think I still have a ways to go. So, some negatives. Now, would have probably been nice if it was a little bit more compact, but for what it is, and the sound drivers in this guy, oh, I forgot to bring it up as another positive. Let me jump back for a second, guys. Another positive would be the overall sound quality and volume on this guy, and the overall range and strength of the Bluetooth. Now, negatives. I would have liked it to be a little bit more compact, but for what it is and the sound drivers in this guy, it is what it is. Another negative is the glossy coating that they put on here. Now, it gets quite glossy and very reflective, so that is what it is. I would have liked probably a matte finish to make it more grippable, but I'm okay with that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.